Okay, recording. This is week 6 officially of Collab for TCL 25. And I think we can jump into demos.
Okay, so today I'm handling demos. Who wants to go first? Janami, Cynthia?
I can go first. It's fine.
Thank you.
I don't have the screen sharing. I can't share the screen.
Sorry, you should have it now. I just turned it
Oh,
on.
okay.
Sorry about that, always.
Okay. It's fine. Okay. So I hope you can see my screen. Yeah.
It's just, it says you started. Yes, we can see now.
Oh, okay. So the issue for this week, we had to delete if a user wants to delete an item, they could do that just to give the user the ability to delete an item. So for example, if a user wants to delete maybe this stationary item, this dialog pop up to first make sure that they really want to delete. So if they say yes, then it will be deleted. If not, then they can cancel anytime.
Wait, Cynthia, I think you're sharing. Oh, there we go. We're seeing the app. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. So should I repeat again?
Yeah, if possible. It was just sharing right now. It was on there we go. Yeah, that's great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was saying that the issue for this week is to give the user the ability to delete an item if they want to do so. So they can click this icon. So if they choose yes, so this dialog pop up. If they say yes, then the item will be deleted. Then if they say no, then the item won't be deleted. So let me share the code. So we added a button in this list item.js. So if the item is clicked, this function will be initiated, will be called. And what it does, it's going to set the state for the dialog to true. Also, we added a dialog here. So if it's true, then this dialog component will be added on the user screen. So this is the dialog component. So if the user clicks on delete, maybe on cancel, it will be passed in this list item, which is going to so for example, if a user say that they want to cancel, then it will just remove the dialog by stating the dialog component the state to false, which is going to remove this dialog. And if the user say delete, then it's going to call this handle remove, which is going to first remove the dialog and then update the items in the database by calling the collection list, the ID, and then updating by using this function called array remove of the items. And yeah, and that's it.
Thank you so much. What I really liked about this code is that for everything you do, you have functions named handle, cancel, handle, etc. For instance, can you open up the code again, where you have handle, cancel, etc.?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you mean this on? Oh, you mean the list? This one.
The list component.
Yeah,
I'm still seeing my face.
but you can see this. You can see the.
Nope, I'm still seeing the Zoom window.
Ooh, it's freezing.
Okay. Never mind. I mean, I guess you all remember the code. I liked really much that, for instance, you had handle cancel and handle open. In that case, I would just, put in the set dialog false or set dialog true directly. But what you did is much better because it describes what's going on. It's good for the future if you want to do something else when you close or open the dialog. For instance, set a variable or something, you have a separate place to do it. And all of the functions have the same name. So in the future, if you want to add another function that handles something, you will know to name it handle something. Yep, exactly. The handle cancel and the handle dialog open. Yep, that's what I really liked. And the code is very clean. Yeah, and I tried it out. It works perfectly. So great job.
Yeah, and I think it's true. It's a really great. Because I was, I think for this, I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm totally out of left field right now, but like, I think it could have even been just a typical alert box, like a console alert box. But I think this is great because it's really. Oh, Abraham's. Yeah, it's really, it kind of goes the extra mile, and then it also gives you the ability to customize it or style it. And yeah, this is a great demo. Good work.
Totally. Thank you. I also forgot to say that we worked on the issue, the bug that Gopher said.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like when trying to add the item, maybe like orange choice. The last time it wasn't adding space. So yeah, we also worked on that by just replacing the regex with just, so what this does is just going to remove any punctuation that might be in the string. So that's what we did, because last time we were using this slash. I think it was this one. Yeah, but I think we're using this one, but it was capital letter, and what it does, it's just going to remove any character that doesn't lie into this range, which also includes spaces.
Mm.
So that's why it was removing space. So we replace it by just making it specific that we want to just remove this type of characters, I mean punctuations. So yeah, that's what we did also.
Awesome. Great work. And thanks for fixing that.
Yeah, great fixing it. I mean, generally, you could make a new pull request for that, but okay, it was very small, but it's, better to make a separate pull request for each issue, so it's easier to track them.
Yeah,
So something to keep in
yeah,
mind.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so great job, and I'll test it out a bit and close the issue and see if everything is okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
thank you very much.
thanks.
Anybody want to add something, comment, ask? Okay, so thanks everybody, and now let's move on to Naomi and Ibrahim.
Okay, thank you. Good. Hello, everybody. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay, so for our issue, these are the acceptance criteria. So basically it says that items in the list should look different depending on how soon we're expected to buy them again. So we have 4 possible indices: soon, kind of soon, not soon, inactive. And the criteria for that is if the item next due date, if the item's due date is fewer than 7 days, then we need to buy soon. If it's between 7 to 30 days, we need to buy kind of soon. If it's more than 30, not soon. And if it hasn't, if it has been purchased only once or less than once, or if the time has elapsed, more than double the time that was projected, then it's inactive. So this is what we did. So we're just going to test that out now. So we're going to add items to the list. So yeah, bananas. Let's say we can get that soon, and we add that, and let's say we're going to get what else we want shoes. We will not be needing that soon. We want, has that been added? Okay. Stationery. Let's just say kind of something like that. So if we add that, we have 3 items. Let's just add the last one. Books. Something. Soon. So if we look at the list now, all the items they have a background color that's gray, and this means that they are inactive. And this is because, first of all, they haven't been purchased at all. So even if we click on this, it's been purchased only once, so it's still going to be inactive. So be able to see what an item looks like if it's set to a state of soon, cancel. Thank you very much. We will need to check it in the database and then just make a few changes to the values. So a moment, please. So this might take a little while. Okay, I don't know why I can't find it in the database.
That's okay. No worries.
Sorry,
No worries. Take your time. Take your time.
Yep. And we should probably delete some of the empty ones.
I think we may be frozen.
I think Janemi is frozen because I can see you and Julia. I can see you moving.
Yep.
Oh, she may just have to come back in.
I'm trying out reactions. I've never used them before.
True. Gonna check in with Shanae on the. There we go. Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
My internet got disrupted. Yeah.
Do you wanna maybe before share? Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe before sharing your screen, you can find the item if
The
that.
item. Okay, yeah. Let me find it.
Okay. Yeah, no worries at all.
Thanks.
Yeah, I always have that, especially with Firestore, because you can't necessarily search for it or filter it. Or maybe there's a way, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, no. where it went. So I just signed in with another token. I think I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. Okay, so this is it here. Let me share my screen. All right. Thanks. So for the number of purchases for bananas, say bananas, 1 changes to 2. And then for the days for next purchase, let's just make it 6, right? So it can be fewer than 7. So ideally, this means that the item should be set to a state of soon, right? And it should have a different background color. So let's see if that's reflected. Yep. So bananas is this little red background. Let's test for the next. So if stationery has, say, 14 days to next purchase, for instance, okay, if we change the number of purchases, but it already has 14 days. So let's just say it's been purchased twice. So, yes, so stationery has a pink, as seen here. Then let's try for something that has more than 30 days till next purchase. Let's make it, say, 35, and let's make sure it's been purchased more than once. 2. Yeah. Say it. Why don't you say it? Oh, sorry, I didn't change this. I thought I did. Okay, so we see it reflected. Right? Is there any able to display?
Sorry, what did you say? Tsunami? Tsunami, are you there? Maybe you froze again.
Yeah, it can be freezing. What we can do for if we want to go through the code, I don't know if Ibrahim wants to maybe, maybe.
Hello?
Hello?
Uh,
Chinemi? Oh, okay. I think it'll come back. But maybe if sharing the screen is proving to be difficult, we could do what we did last time, Golfo. I think we went on your VS Code.
Yep.
That could be.
I shared the screen. It wasn't even my VS Code. I think I went directly on GitHub.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you did that shortcut. That was really helpful. That we've discovered then.
So let me find it. Here it is. And I'll open up Firebase. Tsunami, can you hear us? Do you want to give a description?
I don't think she's in. right
She's
now.
not at all, okay.
But I was thinking maybe Ibrahim, if you wanna walk us through, or if you prefer waiting for Shanemi, that's totally okay too. Oh, Shanemi is typing in the group.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
back.
hi. No worries. With Shanemi, we were thinking it would be easier for Golfo to share her screen, just in case.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe. All right, maybe let's do that instead. Thank you.
No worries.
And
Okay,
here is my list. I tested it out. I checked out I think this one is inactive, the gray one, because I also tested the scenario where it's a really long time has passed since you last bought it, more than twice, and it works. It's
yeah.
inactive. And also the sorting works. Here are these two. You have to purchase them not soon, and they are both green, and the tomato appears first. Do you want to demonstrate anything else, Janemi, or should we look at the code?
Yeah. Yes, the code, please. Thank you very much.
So here's the CSS. Yep, here are the item states. I'm sorry, I started presenting. Sorry, Janemi, guide me through the code.
Okay, can we navigate to the list view first? No, this is
Sorry, which file should I go to?
the list view, James. Yeah, thank you.
Is this view convenient? I think this is more convenient. We can see what changed.
That's... Oh, okay. So yes, this. Yes, thank you. Okay, so so we started by creating an array for a sorted list, because previously the shopping list was being mapped to the item component directly, but here we created a different array so that we would source the shopping list first before it gets passed on. So if we scroll down to the use effect, also there's a function there that sorts the list, yes. So what we do here is that we, first of all, we sort the list according to days left for next purchase. But if items have similar days left for next purchase, then we sort it in alphabetical order. We used locale compare here because that's supposed to sort without consideration for case. So it would just strictly be in alphabetical order. So after sorting the list, that function only runs if the data is no longer loading and the shopping list actually has items in it. So that's when that runs. So after sorting that, then we could go down to where the item is being returned. Could you please scroll down a bit? Go for it. Yes, exactly. Thank you. So here we map the list that contains the sorted items onto the item, and then for each item that's being mapped, we check the urgency. So sorry, I'm going to need to scroll back up. We check the index based on how many days are left for the next purchase, when it was last purchased, and how many times it has been purchased. So this is just a little bit up. Go for. Could you scroll up a little, please? Yeah, thank you. Just a little more. Yes, thank you. So yes, thank you. So if the item has been purchased only once or less, or if the due time has elapsed, then we set it to inactive. And we also created, a variable for the area label. I initially tried to pass them together, but so it would be readable, we had to pass two different variables for the purchase index and the area label. The purchase index is what gets passed as a prop to the list item to assign classes based on the urgency. So if it's, like we said, if it's purchased only once or time has elapsed, it's set to inactive. If it's been purchased, if the due date is in less than 7 days, we set it to soon. If the due date is in less than 30 days, we set it to kind of soon. And if it's more than 30 days and it's not inactive, we set it to not soon. So that's what that does. This interval here says that check the current dates and compare it with the date this item was purchased last. If and then convert, and then if it is more than the time that was estimated, that's next purchase. Double the time that was estimated, convert it to milliseconds, and then compare it. If it's more than double the time, then the item should be inactive. So yes, I think that's then we pass it on to we pass the prop on to the list item. So if we could go to the list item file, we can see what that does there. Yes, so here we pass on the index and error developer. The index purpose takes the value of purchase index, and then we set that as a class name. This is not what they finished. Okay, we set that as a class name. It looks a bit different in the merged file than it does here now. Yes, so we set that as a class name, and then we pass the area label to it. And that's basically the bulk of that's the work entirely. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe you added the change. Maybe I pulled the previous state.
Yeah,
I don't know. I pulled the pull request from GitHub, but anyway, really nice work. And
thank you very much.
Check out the code. Yep, here it was good that you added a different area label. This one is okay. I mean, I like that you added next purchase instead of just, you know, kind of soon. And you actually inform them that the next purchase will be kind of soon. But here, I think a screen reader would read this like next purchase colon kind of soon. So, you know, maybe it's okay though. I mean, you know, just keep it in mind. I like I like this one. How you know you compare first for by the days and then by the you know, alphabetically, and yep, the code is really nice. The legend is a nice addition, but wasn't necessary. Maybe you know the legend could be added in the next 2 weeks, where you will add your own stuff. And something else, let me go back to the pull request description. Here you made a very nice pull request, the description, the acceptance criteria, the testing steps, and they're very detailed, except for the very last step, which is also the most complicated step. I know that documentation is often the most boring part of coding, that it's more exciting to code. And we get tired, especially when we're about to finish working on an issue or a project. And you know, at that moment, it's kind of difficult to have clear our heads and write detailed steps. In this situation, it's better, you know, to wait a day, and in the next morning when you're not that tired. As I said, I know that sometimes we have to deliver a project urgently. Sometimes there's not a lot of time, but here, if you wrote the detailed steps right now where you remember them, it will be very helpful in case this breaks down in the future and you want to test it again. It will be very helpful for even for you in the future to remember the exact steps you need for testing. So here you could be a bit more descriptive. And even now, you know, later you can go and update this now, that because, you know, when you demoed it, you really knew in your mind that how to test it. I saw that you made the steps effortlessly. So now that you remember them, you know, go write them down, and it will be easier for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was
Thank you.
it was a very nice PR, and great work. This one was a pretty tricky issue, and but you made it very well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So does anybody else have questions, comments?
Yeah, my comment would be that, as you already said, the PR is really great written, and also the code. And yeah, I like the functionality with the area labels. And I already think I checked it with the Lighthouse, and I think you almost have the 100% of accessibility. This is really great. And yes, I also I watched I took a look at the code a few days ago, and I saw that you, for example, did the days of in milliseconds inside the function, but now you store it in a variable, so it's a little bit more readable. This is also a great that you changed it into a variable. Yeah,
Thank you.
great job too.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you.
So if everything is okay, let's close the demo. And thank you very much. Now move on to retros, I think, or the next issues.
Yes. Yes, so for the retros, I will share my screen. I hope I'm able to do it today. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I have the same problem as last week. I cannot share because something of the MacBook itself, and it's new for me to work with a MacBook. I'm sorry. Could someone of you guys share the retro board? I can post it as a link.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so yeah, if you could just post the link, or I can. There we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
No
Sorry.
worries, of course. Yeah, that's always one of those ones where you're like, oh, I'll fix that after, and then you don't remember it until
I thought I
time
did
to
it, but now it's I don't know.
no. Yeah, permissions are strange sometimes. Okay. One second. Okay. Cool. Let me share. All right. Wait, is this? No, that's the issue.
Is it?
Is it?
I just, shared it in the chat here.
Here, this one. This is, yeah, there we go. Sorry, operator error, everyone. Okay, so yeah, take it away, Julia.
Yes, so I guess we take the next 10 minutes, about 10 minutes to share our thoughts into the retrospective. But again, the shootouts appreciations for the last 2 weeks, what went well in the last 2 weeks, and what could be improved in the next 2 weeks. And this will be our last 2 weeks, so yes. So I would say, what time is it? About 45.
Sure.
So about 8 minutes to fill out the retrospective for everyone, and we'll meet here again.
Awesome. Okay, and everyone, yeah, that link is just in the chat.
Yes.
Okay, see you all in a few minutes.
See you. Okay. Are we ready to go?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Then yeah, let's start with the shout outs and appreciations. This would be the first one is Cynthia. If you want to read your, what is it called?
Card.
Card. Of your shout outs.
Okay. So for me, yeah, it was just saying thank you to my fellow developers for the great communication in the Slack and their support. Yeah, like we're just, it was great communicating with them and easier, you know. Also, the mentors always there to answer any questions. I really like the office hours because I get to ask other questions that I have apart from the project stuff. So it was great, you know, talking to Mofo and Alex. And yeah, also for being there to answer any questions related to the project in the Slack. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Chanami.
Hi. As I said, thanks to the mentors for their patience in walking us through whatever issues we encountered in the course of handling the issues. And thanks to my fellow devs for sharing their knowledge and experience. So basically, anytime we had questions or we're running into issues, the mentors were really prompt and like available to help us walk through it, even when things get a bit difficult and stuff. Just we've made it a very safe environment for us, so I'm really grateful for that. And also, during code reviews, I think that most times when something is corrected, I pick up something new. For example, the last time, Gopher helped point out the issue with the magic number thing, and also the area label. I had no idea that list inputs didn't support area labels and things like that. So yeah, thanks for that, and just helping us work to make the work we've done more presentable or more polished and stuff. And then thanks to my fellow devs, because largely they've made this a pretty good experience. And also in their code reviews too, we've learned things from them. And even in reading their own work, we've learned things, and generally working with them has been pretty good. So yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Ibrahim. If he's here. Ibrahim, if you want to share your thoughts. Or I guess he's here, yes.
Maybe we can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can go on the next one.
Yes.
Yeah, just basically, yeah, shout out to all the devs, Cynthia, Chinemi, Ibrahim, and Katya for just your participation overall in the last 6-7 weeks of this cohort. I'm really proud of like all of the concrete progress you've been making and all of the work on this app. Just a special shout out as well to Cynthia. She just mentioned about office hours. I really appreciate your participation and like the questions you bring to office hours. And I'm really proud of like the specific progress you've made with React, because I think we were talking about it before and Cynthia didn't know too much about React at the very beginning. And now, I mean, just weeks after, it's the progress is really great. And that goes for everyone. So great work, great work, great work.
True.
Thank you.
There would be another one from Ibrahim. Okay, but I don't think he's here now. Then let's go to the next. It's mine. Yeah, it's really great to see when someone's not able to attend, which happened sometimes in the few weeks, that the other developers are willing and understanding to take over the issues on their own, and they still make it on time. This is really great, I think. And yeah, it's a really great teamwork from all of them. Thank you for making it that easy if someone is not here. Yeah, and the last one would be by Godfrey.
I also want to thank the dev team for pulling through the issues and delivering great code, especially as Julia said, we've had lots of ups and downs. But despite that, the app is functional and the code is really great. And also thanks to my fellow mentors for their help and communication, especially when 2 weeks ago I missed a weekly sync in the last minute, and they were very understanding. So thank you very much for that. And yep, thank you, all of you.
You're welcome. Oh, I was going to say Ibrahim, but we lost him again. Should we read it from our, should I read it, or are we going to on to the next?
Yeah, we can read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there were two.
Yeah. Oh, there were two. Oh no, I had just moved his down here.
Ah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So are you okay? I'm going to read it. Yeah, Ibrahim's appreciations goes to everyone on the team, both the mentors and his teammates who were there for him when he was down, and he's really grateful. Thank you, Ibrahim. So yeah, let's move on to the next column. What went well the last 2 weeks? Cynthia.
Yeah, so for me, I really liked having calendar invites for office hours, because it really helped me, because sometimes I would forget about office hours because maybe I misinterpreted the time, or I don't know. But because I'm used to calendar invites, it was really helpful. Also, so I like the way developers, were open. The other team were open to like code reviews. I feel like sometimes you take some time working on the issue, and now people are giving you other stuff to work on. I feel like it could be, sometimes it could, you wouldn't feel good. But I'm happy that, like, each of us was open to like the feedback from other team members. Yeah, that's it.
Great to hear. Thank you. So who's next? Jenny.
Okay, yeah. So generally merging and the workflow in general was smooth this past 2 weeks. Yeah, so I think that, okay, well, we're kind of slow this week. I was kind of slow this week, but last week, the merging, things were like pretty fast. And just, I think we kind of settled into a workflow, and then we understand once you do this, move it on, move it on, move it on. So yeah, it was pretty smooth this week. And I also made many, many mistakes and learned from them these past weeks. I think I talked about how last week I went roundabouts, and I did the same thing again this week, but we were able to figure it out and just move past that. So yeah, that was fun.
Great.
Always good to learn.
Yeah. Ibrahim would be next if he now is able to
I think he's not. I think he's. Oh,
maybe
yes. Yes, he is. Oh, yes. Okay. Abraham, are you there? Okay.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think he's trying.
Yeah.
Okay, we can maybe go on if oh, there you are. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes, hello, Ibrahim.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Maybe we can move on. I can put Ibrahim's a little further down and might be able to work better after. Oh wait, did I move anything? Okay, I just moved him after. There we go. Okay.
And now there are two from mine. I thought I deleted one. Okay, so then.
Do you want me to delete one of them?
Yeah, delete one.
The top one?
I don't care.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Yeah, the last 2 weeks, the PRs and merges, or the last week, sorry. The last week, the PRs and merges were very soon, and the demos were great, as usual. And also this week, the demos and your written code were very great, or the written code of the devs. So as usual, thank you for that. And also to the devs, you were very active on Slack the last 2 weeks and asked questions. So it was much easier for us mentors to know what's going on, what were thoughts, and how far you are with the progress. So thank you for sharing and be participating in Slack. Thank you. So yeah, we could try Ibrahim again if he has better connection now.
If not, we can go on. We can. So Ibrahim says everything went well. There's a lot of progress, which is definitely true.
Yeah.
Definitely true. Again, and then me following that up. So that's a good segue into it. Yeah, we're making great, steady progress week after week, especially as the app is clearly getting more and more technically sophisticated in its functionality. And I know it can sometimes feel like when you're in the middle of everything and really you're just kind of heads down working, it's just, okay, issue after issue, and then I'm just coding. But really, I think for the developers, like, it just take a moment and look back at all of the progress you've made, and really, this is each week it's becoming this fully functional app, and it's really something to be proud of. So really great job on that.
Totally. Yeah, and Gofur would be last.
For me, I managed to attend both weekly syncs this time, so hooray for me. And what went well, both PRs worked well. They worked as intended, and even an extra bug was fixed. So there was great progress. And as Julie and Alex said, the Slack channel was busier. I mean, I was being tagged, I was asked questions and all that. So, yep, it's definitely a lot better than when we started. So this is a good thing that we became.
True. True.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gofur. So then let's go to the last column. What could be improved? Yeah, the first one is from me. So sometimes I'm not quite sure if you're deciding on things as a team, especially this week with the legend, for example. So it would be great if you talk things through first. And in case you are not sure what to do, or should I go with, for example, the legend or not, yeah, it's always the best way to stick on the acceptance criteria. If you're not sure, or as you did ask the mentors, which you did, as I said, this week, this is great that you did it. But yeah, to go back with the team and to talk things through, especially for the next 2 weeks, this will be very important to decide on a team. So like in a democracy way, of if 3 people are into it, then you should go with it, or if not, then you should not go with it, I would say. Yes, thank you. So the next one would be Alex.
Yeah, so yeah, I think this is a good opportunity to talk a little bit about I think especially being on a remote collaborative and also multicultural team, sometimes it can be easy to take things out of context, or different ways of communicating with one another can be kind of seen as maybe a little bit more direct than we're used to, or anything like that. And I think something that's really important is to, like, something that I always like to keep in mind in whatever team I'm working with is that I just have the thought, like, we're all on the same team, we all have the same goal, and I always try to take everyone's actions as just very neutral, not personally, and keeping in mind just this idea that, you know what, this person is on my team, and in any way that this person is acting, I'm on their team, they're on my team, let's figure out a solution to go forward. In terms of communication, I think that also, like, for example, something I saw within the PR comments, I think that Katya had asked to do something, and Shinemi responded with how to do it. And then I think instead of Katya coming directly to ask the mentors what this meant, it could have been a great opportunity to ask for clarification with the team, with Shinemi directly. I think we really want to work on that in general, but also when you're working in any sort of remote team like this, is really just to be overly communicative and to assume the best intentions from anyone you're working with. But yeah, I think in general, you're always going to have some moments where it can be a little bit difficult to work on a remote collaborative team, because you're not in the same direct vicinity with one another. And so always these kinds of opportunities are wonderful learning opportunities. And I think everyone's doing a good job. Everyone's doing the best that they can. And I think that's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, totally. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, and Gofu is the last already. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So as Julia and Alex said, I'm also going to use the example with the PR, with the discussion between Katya and Janemi. So it's great to have ideas for some extra features when working on an issue. And you know, we think about some cool stuff and we're tempted to add it. But it's better for the whole team if acceptance criteria are followed most closely. Mostly for time management, because you know, if you have some specific acceptance criteria and you're expecting them in 1 week, if you decide to add some extra stuff, it will take more. So in that case, as Alex said, that there should be better communication. So one team member asks the other, can you please add this extra feature? The other team member should say that, you know, I can add it, but it will take me 2 more days. Do you want us to push the release date? If you were in a real team and you were working, is it okay to push the release date a couple of days, or should we make a new card for this issue, for this new feature? And you know, if you discuss, you might disagree a bit, and usually you meet somewhere in the middle. Or I mean, if you tell the other person that this will take 2 extra days, if the other person is reasonable, they will understand, and they will either adjust the time schedule or you know, make a new card for the issue. And this way the team's expectations can be managed better. And generally, if it's done in a respectable manner, disagreeing is a good thing. And you know, it can lead to some productive discussions. And you know, through disagreement, you might find better solutions. So, thank you. Who's drawing on the screen?
I'm not sure.
Somebody's drawing.
Yeah, thank you, Gofu. So does any one of the developers have something to add on this, or?
Yeah, thank you for clarifying, or for yeah, thank you for the advice and stuff. Like, I think it makes me see how this could have been handled better, like in hindsight, and that going forward, if we have issues like this again, it would be easier to resolve. Thank you so much.
Yeah, true. Anyone from the other developers? otherwise we would go on with the next the issue for next week.
Sorry, I just want to add that you know, being a professional many times means knowing when to say no. And
yeah, true.
although it's very difficult, it's easier, and you know, we feel better about ourselves if we always say yes. Saying no is equally important.
True.
Yeah, thank you, Golf.
All right. I think that's good. Let's go just a couple minutes to the issue. So this for next, I guess it's the next couple of weeks. The structure of the issues and coding together is a little bit different than what we've had over the past few weeks or over the past duration of the cohort. And so we're both basically going to be focusing on really getting the style exactly how we want it and just getting the overall functionality as if you were going to be really publishing this or really shipping this app to, for example, like if you were going to be publishing it to the App Store or something, or Google Play Store, even though this project is totally yours as the developer, so you're free to do what you want with it. But just some things, and I'll go through this quickly. We won't go through every single thing. You'll also be able to refer back to it. But within the last 2 weeks of this project, what the structure looks like is that as the developer team, you'll just kind of organize yourselves around what kind of design process you want to do. I know that there's already a lot of styling that's been put on the app just over the course of the entire cohort, but this will give everyone a chance to give their own input for if they want to add certain things, new style features. You can maybe talk more about adding a legend or adding some sort of scale to let users know what like the different colors mean and whatnot. Oh, Shanami's okay. Bye, Janami. Thank you so much, and we'll share this link as well. But it also just gives a chance to kind of really make more of a whole team together, a collaborative aspect of it. And so this issue itself is the last official issue, but you'll also have the chance to, if you do come up with different stories or additional styling stories, you can create issues with your own acceptance criterias and then be able to work on the code or collaborate on the code with a partner and close the issue and create a PR for that. And so, as always, please like depend on us mentors if you need anything or if you have any confusion. This is intentionally a little bit ambiguous, and I think it's a good idea to be able to exercise a little bit more of that creativity. And then here, the design process, some questions to ask yourselves if you so want to. I mean, this is really just a kind of a I guess like a structure of how you can do it, but again, it's really the creative license is yours. Something you want to ask maybe is like what's the tone you're going for the app? Like, what do you want to convey? How do you want users to feel when they come and work inside the app? You can create a mood board, and there's some links here just to get everyone on the same page in terms of the styling. Again, there's already been style added, but that doesn't mean that things can't be changed or added or refactored or anything like that. Some of the fundamental elements of the design include like typography, the type of fonts you want, colors, making sure they're accessible. So the different color contrasts between background and maybe the words on a background, that they can be easily read, and any imagery or any icons that you want to also add to the app. I know right now we have like trash cans and like the check mark and whatnot. And then, there's like, in terms of CSS right now, we're using vanilla CSS in the app, but we can also, there's a lot of different frameworks to also use. So if the team is interested in exploring a different framework, that's also really interesting to do, and can give you something else to add to your portfolio of skills or your resume. So like, for example, if you wanted to experiment with Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS or any one of these. And then, yeah, I think this is all kind of for CSS and frameworks, and then just like being able to take into account the different considerations for the documentation of the framework, the how easy it is to integrate with what you already have, accessibility, how different ones differ in terms of accessibility and being accessible for the end user, and the activeness of the community. So some framework communities or open source communities are more active than others, and then are more able to give you answers to questions if you have them, or you're able to find answers on like Stack Overflow, for example. But yeah, that's about it. And yeah, so Cynthia's the only one here for now for the developers, but we're also going to share this video, so hopefully they'll be able to see that as well. But yes, Cynthia, do you have any questions? Oh yeah, go ahead, Julia.
Sorry. First, you can have some questions, of course. Otherwise, I would share my thoughts about how I was going through the last 2 weeks in my cohort.
That could be
first,
awesome.
if Cynthia have any questions, she could.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So that means we need to have like a meeting at the beginning of the week to discuss all this as a team, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be helpful, but also I think it can also be async. Like you don't necessarily, if it's easier to have like a thread in Slack where you're kind of collaborating on it, I think that's totally fine too. But if you also want to have a meeting or plan a meeting, it's whatever you all want to do.
Okay. Also, so that means for any design or I don't know, CSS that we want to add, we'll have to first create an issue and then create a PR for that.
Yes.
Yeah, Julia, you can maybe talk about your experience a little bit.
Okay. As we did it in my cohort, I think we met on Monday or Tuesday and had a Zoom meeting, and we were discussing about what we will go to do in the last 2 weeks. For example, how do we design the app, and also fixing bugs, or do we want adding some feature we want to have the app. And then this was all discussed in the meeting on Monday or Tuesday, and we created some issues. For example, one issue was creating the style for the home view, or creating the design for the list and the add item view. And we also decided on, in this particular part, I was the one who did the design with another developer, and the other two were doing fixing bugs or rearranging the code for better readability, because our code wasn't that beautiful written as your code already is. And we decided on our own which one wants to do the code, or which one wants to do the styling. So you don't have to stuck on the pairing which is on the project right now. And we also discussed what kind of if we want to use a framework. And we also, when we discussed about things what we will do, it was also always the more people, what is it in English, 3 people have to say yes and 1 has to say no. So we go with the majority. Thank you.
Yeah.
The majority, yes. I think this is very important. So not just because one person say I want to do it like this way, and I don't care what the others want. It's a team project, so the majority should say yes, we go with this framework. For example, in our case, it was Tailwind CSS. We chose it of different reasons. We discussed what are the pros and the cons, and then we go with Tailwind CSS. And also how the styling was made. I mean, this was something I did because I had the time. I made different styling views with different colors, and I let the other developers choose which one do you like more? And we also went with the one with the most votes, so that that everyone was happy and no one was unheard what the person wants. So yes, I think teamwork and talking through everything, what everyone wants, is very important in the last 2 weeks. So you should definitely say out loud that you agree or disagree on something, and because it's the app you will show in the future, so you should at least like to willing to show the app and you feel comfortable how you designed it or how the code is written. And yes, this would be it, I guess. And yeah, we created the issues, we created the PRs, the mentors, of course, reviewed the PRs from the issues you created and to see if it's acceptance criteria. Yeah, keep accessibility in mind, of course. And yes, I think this is it.
Yeah.
If someone has something to add.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much answered everything. Cynthia, is that clear to you?
Yeah, it is. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, no worries. And then for next week's sync, it'll be the same kind of process as our usual ones, but the thing is it's going to be your issues and your like coding from those issues and just kind of demoing what you've decided, and then how you've gone about to implement the code.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's good. And then that'll be interesting for everyone else to watch, like just this last part, so that everyone has more of a clear-ish idea of what to expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. We went a little over. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Good luck with the next 2 weeks.
Yes.